Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 254 of the High Sensitivity Podcast, and thank you for listening. If it's your first time here, we talk about video game and movie news as well as we watched or played over the week. My name is Barry, along with my fellow parcel delivery men.
My name is Craig. Trying to get that network back up with deliveries.
Name is also Craig, just building those roads, baby.
Expanding the chiral network, and
Mm-hmm.
what's always expanding is the news every week, as we did take a week off, so there's a little bit more going on than usual, so I might as well get right into it. Uh, Cyberpunk Edge Runners 2 trailer was shown off from Netflix. Kind of came out with a trailer, and they just, it shows a little bit off, but does confirm that, like, hey, he's dead. He's not coming back. David is not coming back. So, if you're definitely excited for that series, I know I am. It was a good one. The first season was definitely good.
Yeah, most definitely. Season 1 was a banger, so I'm thoroughly excited for season 2.
We then have the end of Anthem servers. As somebody who was a big Anthem fan when it first came out, it saddens me to say, but the game will be unplayable starting January 12th of 2026. So you can no longer buy the currency now, so you can't like get any extra skins or anything like that for it. But if you're an Anthem fan, just play it one last time.
You gonna jump
Any,
back in?
I definitely don't have that game anymore. I might. I don't know. I have to check. I don't think I do, but I might.
Barry, were you part of the affected the people who were affected by the brick aspect of the game? Because that game, it didn't brick my PlayStation, but I had an issue like way in the beginning. Way in the beginning. Okay.
I had nothing. I had no problems with it on my Xbox. So yeah, I don't know. But we have that. Helldivers 2 is coming out to Xbox on August 26th. It kind of marks the first actual PlayStation exclusive or Sony owned studio, for example, that makes its game on its Xbox debut. We do have MLB The Show, but that was more or less because MLB like said you have to do this or else we'll stop revoke licensing and things like that. So good for Xbox, but I think this just goes to show more of Xboxes, and we'll get into more of what Xbox has done recently. But it kind of shows their progress. I don't think they're going to be looking in hardware anymore. I just think they are looking at, hey, we're going to bring all of our games to all consoles and make as much money as possible at this point. The era of exclusives does seem to be coming to an end for Xbox, it feels like. Just with figures coming out, Forza Horizon 5 sold 2 million on PS5, which is quite incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Considering that game is, I believe, over a year old at this point. You have Indiana Jones running better on a PS5 Pro than on a Series X. So you have a lot of kind of a tilting seesaw here about all of the games coming out and succeeding on PlayStation. So maybe that's what Xbox's plan from now on is. I might as well get into Xbox as they kind of took the headlines this week with Xbox was and Microsoft in general is experiencing a bunch of layoffs. We were told that we were told that it wasn't going to be as much of the gaming division, but it ended up being. It felt like a lot of the gaming division got laid off. We have places like Romero Games, the Initiative Games, and Rare Games Everwild canceled. Perfect Dark is canceled. That is insane to me that Perfect Dark got canceled. We saw one trailer for it, and
One amazing trailer for
yeah,
it.
Which people have come out and said who have worked on it that it was not a legit trailer.
yeah.
Ah,
So I
So
think it was part of like how many years have they been working on that?
I
Like
don't know, but I think
7,
we
I
saw.
think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It just goes to show that like, especially the Initiative Games part is what people are very kind of held up about. That was a studio that Xbox created
Mm-hmm.
with old industry heads leading it, and they just cut it off at this point. So I do know that there were people that have played a demo of the game before, but whether or not it was an actual build of the game or it was anywhere close to being finished is yet to be seen. But a lot of Xbox fans are mad about it. You have the president of ZeniMax, Mac Fiore, of the online studios, leaving Elder Scrolls Online. So you have people leaving from there, and the Forza team got also hit by layoffs as well. Just goes to show that like they're just going to continue to cut down. They did come out with two things. So one of the things was that they are trying to streamline processes, so they are getting rid of middle management, apparently, quote unquote. But what has come out as well is that a lot of this has to do with AI. AI coming in and probably doing a lot of these processes for them. One of the biggest studios that Xbox owns, King Studios, that owns Candy Crush, laid off a bunch of people and are now having levels designed by AI instead of actual creators. So it's one of those things where we probably won't see the effects of this just right now, but I think as the years go on, you are going to find that, if you're working on AI, it seems like you're just, training your replacement at this point. Uh,
essentially.
yeah, you almost like if your boss asks you, hey, like, let's incorporate AI into this, you probably don't even want to do that, considering that they're just going to take your job at some point. And speaking of AI, we had the game The Alters. Found out that it was fans found out that they were using AI to do some of the game work for it. They've since come out and said sorry and that they should have been more upfront about using AI with it. But what a mess from Xbox here. Uh, I just remember like at one point we were praising them for like, hey, it seems like they're really getting into the gaming portion of things. They're buying these studios. They're trying to actually compete with PlayStation, which competition is good. It allows people to innovate and advance, unlike we see in many sports games that come out on a yearly basis. And it it just seems as though they bought all these things but did not have a plan for it.
Right.
At this point, like the the fact that you canceled Perfect Dark is
Right.
insane. And
Mhm.
Everwild was a game that Rare had been developing for quite a couple years. I do remember seeing a trailer for that as well, and not
Yep.
much since that trailer came out we saw. But all this coming down right now, it just feels terrible when gaming season really is just starting to pump itself up. We have a couple big games coming out this year, but you look at stuff from Xbox, how many of those things are we going to see at that we saw at Summer Games Fest? Like,
That's
at
a good
what point did
question.
they pull the plug from that? Clockwork, you know, whatever that game was, the Clockwork game where you're reversing time and things like that.
Clockwork Revolution.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that. So it's like, at what point did they just pull the plug on that? We never see it again. Like, if Perfect Dark got canceled, I think anything can get canceled at this point. So
Yeah,
Yeah, and they're
it's
go ahead.
no, I was gonna say it's just weird, like not seeing a well thought out plan. Microsoft is throwing was and is throwing a lot of money to acquire these studios, as you were saying. How do you not, with the level of talent that you are acquiring, find and like this is an interesting time for Microsoft to kind of pick up some steam because on the opposite end you have Sony who's still committed to like the live action or the service games, live service games, and like they're making that mistake over and over and over again. So you would think that I don't know, maybe make up some ground, They're relying on Game Pass and they're really heavy into this everything's an Xbox thing that's going to be going forward and I don't know. It just doesn't look fully fleshed out. It looks like they haven't like it looks like they have like a blueprint, but either they're not timing things correctly or I don't know. Craig, I don't know what you have to say there.
No, I think it almost seems to me that they were like somebody higher up noticed that there's a lot of games that have been in development for a while that they haven't seen, it almost seems like they went to every one of their developers and was like, "What do you have?" And we're just like, "Nope, you're not far enough along. Nope, we're not giving you any more money," and just started cutting. Or no, you're not making enough money. Like, isn't Forza Motorsports is dead, right? Like Horizon is still okay,
Mm-hmm.
but Forza Motorsports is done, which makes sense because like Horizon is where Forza would be. But it does seem like a lot of these games are just like they just were like, this one, like Perfect Dark, it's been like 6-7 years and you don't have anything, or like you're not as close as they want them to be, whether good or bad, and just like, all right, cool, you're done. You know, it's crazy. I honestly, they're having such a phenomenal year with Game Pass that I know we've talked about this before, but like, I almost at this point, like, I don't even want another console from Xbox. I don't. Like,
Yeah,
just keep doing Game Pass. I Game Pass to me is still the best value in gaming, hands down. Like, not even close. So just
absolutely.
put all your effort into that. Don't even make another console because again, they keep trying, and PlayStation is the better console of the two. It's not even close. I don't think. I think PlayStation is the better of the two, and then the Switch is its own entity. But I don't know. Like, I don't know if you're going to bring up, Barry, the Xbox version of the Ally.
Yeah. Yep. You
Yeah.
Mm,
can bring
So
that.
like,
Yeah, you can bring that up.
I
So
mean, that's floating out there too. Like, they're saying $5.99 and $8.99 price points. Maybe that's what they're thinking. Like, this is the new, either you stream the games through your iPad, your TV, or you buy the Ally and download it to the Ally, and that's how you go from now on, and just completely abandon Xboxes altogether. I would be okay with that personally. I'll just play the Xbox games on my computer and then have
right.
my PlayStation for the exclusives and then the Switch for the Nintendo exclusives and just call it a day personally.
Yeah, and like those leaked prices weren't they in pounds too? Because I saw the
Yeah,
5.99, 8.99. So like I don't even know what that equates to in dollars.
close to 1,000, I would think, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for the 8.99 pound, that's definitely over 1,000. So,
Yep.
Greg, I'm with you. Like it's Game Pass on computer.
Yep.
Buy your and use an Xbox controller. For the controller games kind of thing.
Yep.
So
yeah, I think the only point, and this is even a conversation that's also being had, is like, is the reason this is happening is because Game Pass is not profitable. Now,
Mm-hmm.
we do have a ton of other Xbox people saying it is, and then we have other people that saying it's not.
Right.
It is the best deal in gaming now, for sure, but at what point do we see another price raise? And then people need to start asking themselves questions about, is this what do I need this anymore? Especially, you're they're going to be raising their prices to upwards of almost a game a month. And that's if you can, keep producing a big of a game a month to validate having it every month. So
What
it's
are we at now? Is it 25?
I
for
think
the
it's
ultimate, yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
thought it was
25.
35.
I think it's 25.
it's
Okay,
25 for
maybe
the ultimate right
maybe
now.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking 45 for 3 months. That might be it. Um so it just
Yeah.
depends.
Mm-hmm.
We then have Phil Spencer rumors of retiring were shut down. He kind of came out and said that he's not retiring. So just a quick little story, and I'll move on from Xbox here instead of bashing them. We have Neil Druckmann leaving the production for HBO The Last of Us. So
Yes.
Getting out
season
while they can.
3 and whatever other seasons are planned after that, he is leaving for. And he said it's primarily because he needs to go back to working on the other games that are being
Mhm.
produced by Naughty Dog Studios. So,
Intergalactic.
Yeah.
um, probably better to have him on the gaming portion of things. Like after the backlash they got from season 2 here, I have a feeling that he's like, maybe I don't want to be a part of this anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
So I really don't know how much of a hand he had in it, but the drop off from season 1 to season 2 is pretty noticeable. Like
Yep.
I
Right.
just don't know if he had as much of a hand in it as Craig Mazin, the other director, has. We'll have to see, what happens with season 3. Can they redeem themselves? We will see. We then have a weird, like, announcement from EA Sports saying college basketball could be coming
Heck
back.
yeah, baby.
Let's go.
March Madness, but yeah, the use of NIL is now making its way probably into the other sports. Where
Yeah.
after college football, college basketball is the next most profitable, really, of all the college sports. So, with
Yep.
that being said, get NIL and get schools in it. We've seen that they can do it with NCAA College 25 and 26.
Mhm.
Let's see if they can do it with this. And this would be produced by EA Sports, not 2K
Yes.
Games.
Yes.
So consider that as well.
That's an
As
important
even
part.
yeah,
That is an important part.
Yeah.
if while it is NBA and college, that is a difference there.
Mhm.
It is kind of a competition
Yes.
for basketball games, because if NBA 2K and Craig knows this it's kind of been stuck in a spiral right now. It's not really moving forward or going too far back. They're
I
just
didn't
kind of
buy it last year. Did you?
Yeah. Nope.
I'm not buying it this year either.
I probably won't either. So
I am hoping. Now, I enjoyed the college basketball games growing up. Loved them.
yeah.
I'm hoping that enough people are excited that they then consider to take another shot at NBA Live, EA.
Yeah.
Because now is the perfect time, like you said, because people are not happy with 2K. I went from buying it every year to just last year being like, I'm good. And like they just put up the cover for the new one this year, and I was like, I don't care.
Yeah,
I just don't care.
Shy Gilgris,
Yeah. So,
Angel Reese, and
but
Carmelo.
I will buy
Yeah.
the college basketball game for sure.
Yeah. After the success and after, like, I mean, I told you guys how much I played college football 25 last year. And I was the guy who was playing, I guess, the least amount of sports game out of the three of us.
Yep.
And yeah, I'm in. If they're doing it, I'd have to see a little bit of like what they do though, because I don't know. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. And lastly, we did get the PlayStation State of Play with 20 minutes of gameplay on Ghost of Yotei. Just quick overall impressions for me. It does look a lot of the same from Ghost of Tsushima. If I have to be honest, I instead of switching stances now, you will be switching weapons, and weapons can be knocked out of your hands and things like that. So, but I think the game looks cool, and for me, like the added modes, like
The
they added
lo-fi
2
mode.
the
Yeah.
lo-fi, the
Yep.
Samurai Champloo directing kind of thing with original like hip hop beat to it as well is a nice plan. I just want it to be a good story. That's really all I care about. The gameplay was probably going to be similar, and that
Mhm.
makes sense. Just have to see if they can stick the landing with the story for this one too.
Are you buying it?
I will be.
Okay. Yeah, same.
I think
Did you
I'm buying it.
neither of you jumped on the $250 version?
Nope.
No.
I didn't either. I was just curious. You guys are usually the ones that are like, did it, bought it.
That's true.
Yeah,
Not-
did it, bought it.
Not
Yeah.
this time. It came with honestly a lot of stuff.
Yeah, no, it is
Yeah.
worth it if you're thinking about it. It also did come out that they are releasing like PlayStation covers that are
Yes.
inspired by it. I did think they look cool, but
Me
I
too.
actually didn't see any for the PlayStation Pro, so I'd have actually no idea if it's.
Didn't they
maybe
make it for
anything
both? Like the PlayStation and the
I
PlayStation
thought
Pro?
they did.
So in the trailer, none of those PlayStations are PS5 Pros.
Okay.
One has like a gold ink to it, and the other one has a black ink to it. But both
Okay.
of those PlayStations are base PlayStations, PlayStation
Okay.
Slims.
Yeah.
But that is
Interesting.
all the news I had. If you guys want to jump into what you have.
Oh, you covered all mine.
Yeah, you covered a lot of mine too. Sorry, I was just looking to see if there was. It's not available. I was trying to see if it was available for the Pro.
I have a keen eye, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
you
have a
do.
keen-
I
do have a
count
keen
the,
eye.
I count the stripes. I know
Yeah,
the
you
black
do have a
stripe.
keen
The
I
pre-orders
was like,
pre-orders are coming soon, but yeah, it does look like there's only 2 versions, and I'm assuming that top one is the slim,
Yeah, that looks like it.
yeah,
and
it looks
then
like the
that
Slim.
one is the
Maybe the base.
base version.
Yeah.
I don't know. That one does have a bigger, like
That's the
that
two
one
that they
could be
have up on there. Sorry if
that
you're listening, but like, yes.
that bottom one might be for the pro because
Okay.
that does have a bigger
Mm,
space between it. I thought I just thought it'd be stupid if they didn't bring it out for the
Yeah, you
pro.
would think they would do
right.
both. Yep.
Because everybody who has a PlayStation Pro wants to play that game. That's a game you play on the PlayStation Pro,
Correct.
like, and
Yep.
and say wow. Um, but yeah, Barry, you covered most of mine. The only thing I wanted to mention, in addition to like the layoffs and Neil Druckmann and all that, is for anybody. I know that this is a pretty revered series. A lot of the gamers that I watch have played it at least once. But Little Nightmares 3 had a showcase 3 weeks ago. Um, Looks like we have it coming out on October, I think it was 10th. Um, yeah, October 10th is the release date. They're going to have not only just for PlayStation, but also Xbox and Switch 2 as well. But a lot of good different editions that some of them you have to pre-order directly from Bandai themselves. Like, and to your point about asking if we got the collector's
Mm-hmm.
edition, my last collector's editions ordered was this one, so
Okay.
I'm not doing the Yotai one.
Mhm.
But they have a really cool spiral edition that comes with a lot of nice goodies, and it's just really nice to see it finally have a release date. I took a look and I pre-ordered it when the original trailer came out, and that was a year and a half ago. It like, and I canceled obviously that pre-order for the collector's edition, but shows you how long we've been kind of waiting for that. But I think the cool stuff that they're moving into, like VR, like they have Little Nightmares coming out in VR, and they have um like a television thing going. Like, they're moving, it's becoming more than just a game or two. It's moving into different type of media. So it's a good world that they've created. So I think we should stay on the lookout for like what they have to bring. So that was the only other thing I had.
Okay. So then we will get into games this week. As for all three of us, I think we probably but all have Death Stranding 2 to talk
Yes.
about. Pretty much nothing else until Bonanza comes out, at least on my end. Bonanza is the biggest one that's coming out for this week. I don't, of course, we didn't play it, but what other games did you guys play?
Death Stranding, college football, Tony Hawk.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
was mine.
Death Stranding, college football, Persona 5, The Phantom X. My wife is currently blowing through Tony Hawk, so I haven't had a chance to play it yet.
You guys want to start then? You guys want to start on Tony Hawk and
Yeah.
college football? I have not played it enough to give enough of a review.
Okay.
I have not actually bought it. I just have the 10-hour trial at the moment still.
Okay.
So keep that in
Um,
mind.
yeah, I mean, we can start with college football. I don't know about you, Craig, but I succumbed to the pressure and bought the one that comes with Madden as well. Reason being was I get sucked into the idea of being able to play through a college career and then take that person into Madden. That's just like, I love that so much. So I did that version. And also, I wanted to play it early.
Oh, of course. Of course. Of course.
Um, I mean, I guess we talked about it so much last year and how good it was. Um, I think the Road to Glory is better, right?
I agree.
Doing the adding high school at the beginning is great.
Yeah.
And having like you get to choose what goals you want to go for in your high school career, and that affects which of your schools that you want to go to may offer you or not offer you depending on how you perform. After that, though, when you get to college, not much has changed.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's pretty much the same thing. I did not try Dynasty at all yet. I know that's more great. That's more your thing than mine.
That is.
I always go straight into becoming my own person of what I always wanted to be growing up playing college football. But
Right.
the music edition is amazing. I will say that, not just in the menus, but the actual stadiums. Getting those licensed tracks is huge.
It is.
It makes such a big difference hearing, Mr. Brightside or Metallica or whatever. Like that just that's what we were missing last year. And now that we have that, I think everything is positive, but for us, because we put so much time into last year, I'm still enjoying it. I'm still going to put a ton of hours into it, but it does kind of seem like a update
Yeah,
rather than a new game, if that's the fair way to put it.
That's how I thought I was going to feel about it.
Yeah.
that is it is the fair way to put it.
Hmm.
I got the college game. I'll get Madden down the road
Yeah.
sometime. But I actually started with Road to Glory because I actually technically started with Dynasty, created, started doing the drafting, but I've been putting more hours into
Yeah.
into the Road to Glory, and I wanted to see what that high school experience was like. I do the fictional pressure of trying to impress specific schools that you want to get into. I
Yep.
think was a nice little touch, and they didn't convolute that time.
Yep.
When we're playing a game and we're like, oh my God, the tutorial, can we get through it? Like, that type of thing. This was the right amount of time to be in high school. It's 5 games. You have to
Yep.
complete 4 moments out of 5, and you can select those 4 moments, as Craig was saying. And it just goes right to those plays, those drives that you have to do that. Some of them are a little crazy. Like Penn
Yeah.
State wanted me to run 50 yards on a
Yeah.
play,
Yep.
which I understand. It's actually not that crazy in high school. People do that all the time because it's high school ball. But that was nice. And, kind of looking, I know my first couple of choices, I had like Penn State, LSU, I had Auburn in there.
Hmm.
They just seemed realistic based off of the character that I chose and the schemes. And whether I fit the scheme or not. But that was a really nice touch, and I really enjoyed it. Um, so I'm interested to get through college, be able to move that player on into Madden. I will get Madden. It's just a question of when. So, but
Yeah.
like you said, Craig. Other than that, it's just an update. It's a great game. It was a great game last year. It's an update of a great game this year. But you can honestly say that adding the high school thing is a nice caveat. And then the license tracks, of course. In the menu, hearing "Blinded"
Yeah.
by a freaking The Weekend in
Yeah.
band form was great. Um, so I'm gonna put a ton of hours into it, most
Oh yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. Easily. What do you think, Barry? From what you've played?
Yeah, from what I've played, like like I just went straight into play now. Played Penn
Okay.
State versus Ohio State.
Yep.
Classic, a tale as old as time, if you will.
Yes.
Um, and
I do believe that.
it did immediately feel like college football 25.
Hmm.
It's one of those things where, like, somebody who's played so many sports games and put so many hours into them, I do feel as though, yeah, it feels a lot of the same. Um, I'm glad to hear that the high school stuff is
Yep.
changed, but I've seen the menus for what Road to Glory looks like. It's a lot of the same stuff.
Yep.
It's
Make sure you study. Make sure you get your meters full with the amount of energy you have.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I just wish there was a bit more of like a feedback loop when it comes to just not using my tokens on this, and this
Hmm.
kind of deal. I really don't get it. It's just not as fun for me. Give me stupid college questions or ask me, are you smarter than a fifth grader questions. I won't know the difference. Like, oh, you got a big exam coming up. Let's see how you do. Um, it's just stupid little things like that. But like, I feel I feel like this is mainly a iterative one because they can only do so much. And you're
Yep.
right, a lot of those licensed band songs are a much welcome thing, and I do
Yep.
like hearing the crowd sing the songs as well. It is a nice touch. But how much of the money was then put toward this instead of making the gameplay and tweaking it a little better?
How do you guys feel about the increased difficulty with like the at home stuff?
It's
Uh,
definitely you can tell.
you
Yeah.
can tell. Yeah, you start
Well, and I
really
and I
sucking.
loved it, and I loved
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
25, and I love it in 26 too. I love that stuff.
I yeah, I think what I'm struggling with is we just got off of putting college football 25 super high on our list at the end of the year last year. One of the best
Yep.
games of the year, right?
Yep.
And they just took one of our best games of the year and did improvements, which is what you're supposed to do in a yearly sports game. So I'm trying to be objective to be like, not just be like, oh, this won't even be on my top 10 of the year because this was one of my favorite games last year, and they
Mhm.
just made improvements. So
Right.
theoretically, it should be in one of my favorite games this year, right? You would
Yeah.
think.
You
But
would
you
think.
get into that point where you're like, oh, you didn't change enough for me. But like you said, Barry, like they only have so much time
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Like they had years to make the first one. So now they only have, a year. What are they going to change? I know people have been like, oh, like the pass game is better, the run game is better. I don't get crazy enough into the weeds on sports games to notice that kind of stuff, honestly. I'm not playing online and like trying to be the best Madden or college football player. I'm just like, let me do my road to glory, um, and move them on to Madden, and then
Yeah.
I want to, like, if I'm playing Penn State, I want it to sound like what I hear on the weekends here.
Mhm.
And I think they've done that. So yeah, it's a tough one. I don't know if it ends up in my top 10 this year. I know it'll be in my top 10 most played this year,
Oh, most
easily,
definitely.
easily, probably
Easily.
top 5, to be fair. So I'm trying not to be too critical of it, honestly. What next?
Uh, how about
Tony
I
Hawk
do?
Yeah,
Because
or
give it to
Tony,
me.
yeah, I was gonna say Tony Hawk is the I don't want to say better game, but technically the newer game
Mhm.
out of the two. So Persona 5 X, or sorry, Persona 5 the Phantom X, they got you on this game. Literally
I see
on
what you
this,
did there.
they
You know
got you
what?
on this gotcha
I
game.
I like that one, Craig. I'm not gonna sigh. I'm not gonna.
That was a good
I'm
one.
not gonna. I'm not gonna want to end the podcast. I'll give that to you.
I'm not gonna want to end the podcast. I love it. Yeah, I really like this game. And what I really like about it is it's a gotcha game. I know what to expect here, but they really stay true to the Persona 5 formula. The beginning of the game actually starts out the way the beginning of Persona 5 starts out. And it's really nice diving back into the world um, and the characters when you're playing as a completely new character named Wonder. And I don't know. I was I was really interested in how they're going to take how you move through Persona 5 and make it a gotcha game, but they did a very good job. The dungeons are still the dungeons that you can power through. They found a way to incorporate how you get the demons and go through the Velvet Room upgrades, and you still have a limited amount of energy to do things each day, and you still spend time socialize with characters, and it's really good. It stays true. I'm not blowing through it because of the other games that we're going to talk about it or have talked about already, but I think that if you like Persona 5 at all, you should play this game. I also think that if you had trouble getting through Persona 5 because of how long it is, that this is actually an interesting way. Like this is how I would probably introduce my wife to Persona 5 because you could play as much as you want. There's a limited amount of things to kind of keep you to stop playing, after you do certain tasks and go through your energy for the day. So that's what I think is different. And it's good. It's really really good. And it's just nice to dive back in because there's nothing like that game for a lot of people. It's arguably one of the best JRPGs of all time. It's in a lot of people's lists for that. And it's really nice to kind of just hop in and play it. And the last thing I'll say about it is I feel, and I know some people who are playing a lot of gotcha games, the Genshin Impacts and all those, it feels less take my money. You feel less tempted to do it because I think that they're incorporating different things to allow you more currency to be able to get those characters that you have on those limited banners. I don't know. I played Hoyoverse, like 2 out of the 3 Hoyoverse games at the moment, and yeah, I think 2 out of the 3, yeah. So this one feels less different. I know it's not a Hoyoverse game, but I'm just talking about gotcha games in general. So it's good.
Okay.
It's a good one.
Um, Tony Hawk. You have to take everything I say with a grain of salt because of my love for Tony Hawk, right? Like because I have them all and play them all. But I did make a point earlier this year to play through Tony Hawk 3 and 4, the originals, that I would have a better feeling for the new ones. Seeing them all updated in HD is phenomenal. I'll start with that. Plays just as well as 1 and 2 when that came out a couple years ago. The change to Tony Hawk 4, where it's not open world, it's 2-minute runs like Tony Hawk 3, I don't think is a bad thing. It just works. Just give you the goals and go. Just like the last one, there's so much to do, that, like, if you wanted to do everything and unlock everything, you're going to be spending, I don't even know, probably over 100 hours in this game, which is wild to think about. But, like, just getting through the main goals for both games takes a while, and then there's pro goals, and then there's other challenges. There's just so much to do, and there's multiplayer. I think it's a phenomenally well done game. Slight improvement on Tony Hawk 1 and 2 as far as gameplay and visuals. I'll keep saying this until it happens, but, like, these are doing well enough that will you please give us Tony Hawk Underground next? Please, hopefully. I am not as mad as some people are about the soundtrack. I know a lot of people are up in arms because I think only 6 songs from both original games are in this soundtrack. The rest are all completely new. I don't mind that. If it bothers you that much, you can always just put Spotify on while you're playing, I guess. It's not
Right.
the world for me. I can do that if I want to. But I don't mind the choices. It's a nice collection of every genre of music. I think it works. There's so many skaters to choose from. There's, secret characters, unlockables. Jack Black is back. This is going to be a top 10 game for me this year, easily.
Yes.
Easily.
That's what I was waiting to hear.
I did get the skateboard too, but I don't have it here. But I did get the deck version as well.
Because he got his shred back.
Yeah,
You
I gotta get my shred back.
Gotta get this.
Yeah,
we splurged on that one too.
Mhm.
Hence again why I'm not doing the Ghost of Yote one. Too many collector's editions.
way
this
too
year.
many. Yeah, but yeah, phenomenal. Check it out, and it's on Game Pass. So even if you're like, I don't really play skateboard games, at least check it out. It's like a piece of history. Tony Hawk games are a piece of video game history.
It's a specific vibe. There's nothing else like it, and it kept a lot of us into video games when we were younger. That game was, oh my god, piece of history.
It is. We can hit up Death Stranding though.
It is time for Death Stranding 2 on the beach.
On the beach.
Now, I know we're all at varying points here.
Yeah.
I have finished chapter 1.
Same.
I guess have we all gone to the next section of the game?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I am on episode 2.
Okay.
Yes.
So, Death Stranding 2, and I'm trying. This is going to be high praise on my part, so bear with me, guys.
Sure.
I love Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
But
no, you don't.
Kingdom Hearts, like, there is a phenomenal jump from Kingdom Hearts 1 to Kingdom Hearts 2 that makes 2 so much better to play. I believe they've achieved that with Death Stranding 2 on the beach here. This game is really better in every way to Death Stranding. As someone who had trouble getting into Death Stranding 1, I am having a lot of fun with Death Stranding 2 here. Whether it's because, like, they give you a vehicle much more earlier on, at least it feels like. That's what everyone is saying, but I feel like it's kind of the same. You get a vehicle kind of at the same point. I guess it depends on how much you deliver. The focus to action and making it a lot more understandable, I think, plays to the game's, like, strengths here. It is fun to take Sam with an assault rifle and just start either shooting it up like you're in Gears of War, or going stealth like a classic Metal Gear Solid game, and slowly and getting rewarded for it too. On top of that, you are given a tool to take on the BTs much quicker in this game than you are in 2. Like, the BTs, especially before you learn how to handle them, are very much annoying in 1. And they're just kind of this thing that slows down everything to a halt. Now, you get the tools to take them on earlier. and I can't like I can't keep like praising this game, to be honest.
Yep.
Um, I hope it continues on the route that it is, but that first chapter does a lot of stuff good.
Mhm.
Um, the story beats with uh Die Hard Man, or no, it's not Die Hard Man, it's Dead Man.
Heartman, Dead Man.
Yeah, that end part with Dead Man, the parts with Lou and Fragile, the
Mhm.
Yeah.
parts now that I'm very interested in Sam,
Yeah.
as well. But the characters they add also, the puppet is surprisingly like
Doll Man. Yeah.
yeah, Doll Man is surprisingly I like him, and I love the fact that they went with the 24 frames on him.
Yep.
This was supposed to be someone though voiced by Timothy Chalamet, which I do think would have been kind of cool, but
Yeah.
instead we do get someone else, which is completely fine. But um in general, like it Death Stranding 2 is on par with the improvements made from Kingdom Hearts 1 to 2. And if anybody like look up if you don't know what I'm talking about, like do your research. I hate to say it,
Mhm.
but like it is a jump that I did not expect, and it makes the game better in every way. They did everything I think better this time. I Game looks phenomenal. Like
Yeah.
drop dead gorgeous on a PS5 Pro. Like
I don't know how my base PS5 is making this game look as phenomenal as it does,
yeah.
Right.
but like holy cow.
It looks great.
Every part of that game looks phenomenal. And also, side note, move over Expedition 33.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
At least for me.
Right.
Yeah, I don't even think it's close, honestly.
It's it's a masterpiece.
Mhm.
Almost a masterpiece. I don't like to throw that word out a lot, but um everything you said, Barry, it's almost like they thought up every quality of life change that they could think, basic or even story based. Things like getting for me, it felt like you did get the vehicle early enough. I don't know. I don't know. It's been so long since I played Death Stranding, the first one, but having that whole Mexican campaign, like the campaign in Mexico, and just going through it, and you could tell that they're teaching you the ropes just throughout. You know, you get a different challenge with every single person that you unlock as you're delivering stuff. And you're right, the story beats are great. There's things I want to know. There's things I want to continue to learn. And then when they take you into Australia, and I don't think this is that big of a spoiler, but like when they take you to the next place, um, you just want to go. You know, you're like, what's over here? What's over here? You know, like how long is it going to take me to just continuously unlock more of this map? And I think in this game, they give you more of a flexibility with how fast you want to progress the story. I have a person who started the game 3 days after me, and I've really been putting a lot of hours into this game, and they beat it already with me. And that's just because they didn't want to 5-star everybody, you know, all of
Yeah.
the people. But you could also take your time and do that. And the assault rifles, like all of the weaponry you get, there's still so many things they make you unlock. I'm 85% of Australia is unlocked for me. I've been putting hours into it, and like I can thank the portal for that, because this is a perfect anybody at home that's playing this game. This is a perfect portal game at certain points, because what I've been doing is main story points play on the television, but there's obviously a lot of back and forth because you're delivering back and forth. And to make it actually less monotonous, I do it while I'm watching something with my wife.
Yep.
So like that way you don't get overly bored per se with some of the backtracking that you have to do. But they added a level of traversal that I don't know if you guys got to it yet in your chapter, but there's additional things that they added that just you want to keep building to make this entire network work, to make it easier for you to deliver things. Like there's so much they added, to me at least, to make this game more fluid and not boring at all. And the boss fights, I'm interested to hear your guys' takes when you start getting to more of those
I
because
did struggle on the first boss fight.
yeah,
The face.
I've
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the skull type thing. Yes, I
Yep.
did
it was
struggle on
great though.
that. It did take me a little bit, and I feel like that was on purpose because I do understand the combat a lot better now.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think I died to him. I think 4 times because like I was like I was ill prepared for it. I'll say right out, but that it made me think about preparing for these things a lot more often. Um,
Yeah.
Right.
and get your blood grenades, guys. Get your blood grenades.
Like
They are
immediately.
I
yeah.
think that was my thing is before. Okay, so side note, like my copy didn't show up until a week after it came out. That's how delayed mine was. So
Yep.
like I was, as it was out, I was like watching videos on it, and I was watching videos of like, hey, this is what you should do when you start, and that was literally one of the things. It was like, as soon as you can craft blood grenades, do not go anywhere unless you have like multiple of them. So when I hit that boss battle, I was just like, blood grenade, blood grenade, blood grenade, and it wasn't that bad. Um, but yeah, I was. I don't know, man. I there's other games yet to come out this year, but like I don't know if we're gonna get anything better than this year. And
Yeah.
we were, you guys, not me, but like you guys were very set on Expedition 33, right?
I do love
Very
Do you
set.
do
Expedition
you, do you
33,
still
but
think that's the better game? No, no. I you guys,
Yeah.
I can get like absolutely like crushed for this. That's fine. Like I said, I don't even think it's close. And
Yeah.
Expedition 33 is a good game, but it's
Yeah.
not even close.
Yeah. There's I was thinking as I was playing it, I was just like, this is gonna be a tough top three,
Yeah.
or top five this year. And the more I play it, I think the more that I am leaning Death Stranding, most definitely in terms of
Yeah.
like ousting Expedition 33 in my mind. There are a couple of just that things that I've noticed. The boss battles arguably can be a little bit repetitive down the line. Outside of the first one, and then I had another one. Oh my god, I was complaining to myself, of course, that there was less BT action once you progress through the story. But then as I got into the halfway point, I feel like somebody at like the it's like almost somebody heard me because they became a lot more prominent. Because essentially there's areas that you can figure out a way to just completely avoid BTs. So you make that choice as the player. They're to like decide that I don't want to run into them really at all in what felt like the beginning half of the main area. But then they're kind of like, nah, here you go. Like here,
I
like
really
you
like
have to.
running into them now, though. Like
Yeah,
now that they give you the tools to take them on earlier, they aren't a part that I dread.
Yeah.
They're a
right.
part that
Yeah.
like I look forward to because it's not just me holding R1 and holding my breath, moving super duper slow. Like
Mhm.
they give you the tools to take them on. And if
Right.
you're willing to, it's like it's not terrible
Yeah.
to do so. So it's just one of those things that yeah, like this game improves on every issue I had with 1.
Yeah.
And
Hands
not
down.
only that, game looks incredible. Like well, welcome world to next gen gaming. We're finally here. It
Yep.
feels like it.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. Like games like Expedition 33 look fantastic. Doom looks fantastic, and I
Yeah.
hope some of the other games we get this year look fantastic. But it we can't take Kojima for credit. Like
Yeah.
here, like
Yep.
Yeah. He's
it is phenomenal work. It
he's
really is.
literally is producing what inevitably is probably going to be, and this is what is interesting for the Game Awards this year because we have Metal Gear Solid Delta coming out later, and that's his game with a studio he is no longer with.
Yep.
Like he made that. So I'm very interested to see where Death Stranding lands, and how funny would it be if they just kind of like suffocated really any award that Metal Gear Solid Delta would get with a game that he created in his own studio. So there's still hints of them there. There's a lot of good Easter eggs, guys, that I kind of want to like when we do our like spoiler cast or whatever. I want to see what you guys find because there's definitely some stuff that I found just by accidentally doing an action
Hmm.
like too much or sitting for too long or there's a lot of fun things in there, guys, that I can't wait for y'all to go through. Like there was a jump scare scene that happened to me that I was not ready for that was not even part of the story. So like I
Great.
can't wait to
I
see
gotta stop playing it.
There's
it wasn't
there's also stuff for your birthday.
Yeah.
I'll
yeah.
just put out there. Like I had a bunch of stuff on because I was
Oh,
playing on my
that's
birthday.
right. Yeah,
Yep.
because the
Oh
game came to us after your
yeah.
birthday. I remember seeing
That's
the,
oh that's
that
Yep.
stuff.
awesome.
That's
Let me
just cool.
let me ask you guys this because we're technically halfway through the year, right? So statistically, 1998 is considered the best year of gaming of all time, statistically, right? And I'll name some of the games for you: Half-Life, StarCraft, Metal Gear Solid, Ocarina of Time, Banjo Kazooie, Resident Evil 2, Parasite Eve is another one for me, Xenogears, Spyro the Dragon, Pokemon Yellow, um, Medieval was another big one. Theoretically, are we going to look back and say somewhere on the list of like best years of gaming is 2025?
I think it depends on how this holiday season goes.
Because we already have Expedition 33, a lot of people consider one of the best games ever made, right? Like
Yeah,
that's being thrown around.
that is being thrown around.
Death Stranding, I is a phenomenal game. The first reviews for Donkey Kong are out that are sitting extremely high
Mhm.
on
Yeah.
top of everything that's we've already played this year. Split Fiction. Um, I'm blanking
Right.
on some other things that have come out. Doom, fine. Split Fiction. We have Metal Gear Solid Delta. Monster Hunter Wilds is out there.
Pirate Yakuza
Pirate
is
Yakuza, Ghost of
Pirate,
Yotai,
Ghost of Yotai.
Metroid Prime 4. A lot of people really Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is very high for people, even though it's not for us.
Right.
South of
Ass-
Midnight's out there.
South of Midnight.
Assassin's
Like,
Creed Shadows came back this year. Like a
yeah,
lot of
like
Right.
people
is
say it's
this
back to form.
like honestly, I was thinking about that and I was like, this could be one of those years that ends up on like a top 10 years of all time, honestly. Because if we're that high on Expedition 33, then you have to be that high on Death Stranding too.
Yeah, Split
You have
Fiction
to.
Oh,
as well.
Yeah,
yeah.
Split Fiction, phenomenal. Yeah, Donkey Kong Bonanza just got a 96 out of 100. That's higher than Mario Odyssey.
Oh,
Right.
oh yeah. So I wonder.
So,
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
like,
So
what?
I
Yeah,
think I think it could be in the conversation if we take a look and like I think we should
yep,
revisit this towards
yes.
the end of the year before we do
Mhm.
our list
Yeah, and I
because
don't want to jump the gun here, but like, I mean, there's still a lot of good games that could potentially be up there besides Metal Gear. Like, who knows what we're going to get with Borderlands, but you still have Silent Hill.
you
Um,
do Silent Hill F. Yep.
yeah, you still have technically, I mean, I don't have much hope, but Barry, there's Pokemon out there. Mafia is out there.
Outer Wilds 2 is
Outer
out
Outer
Wilds.
Wilds
there.
2.
Yeah,
There
Right.
is
it's gonna be a big
what's
year.
what's
Let's not
the
forget
other
about Wu Chang Fallen Feathers, the
Yeah,
game
see,
changer.
yeah,
Ninja Gaiden 4
yeah,
developed by
Oh, that's
Platinum as
right.
well.
yeah.
Yeah.
I only
And
know
this,
all this because I actually recently printed out all the games coming out for this year
okay.
still and highlighted the ones I want.
And just imagine if GTA 6 was still coming out this year.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been that'd be stupid. So
That
like
would be one of the best years.
let's think about it too and like when we rediscover or rediscover this conversation, let's even compare it to like 2023 because
Mhm.
2023 was in the conversation of best top 10
Yeah.
years and that had Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom, Alan Wake 2, Final Fantasy 16, Starfield. I don't know why Starfield's in this list, but Diablo 4, Street Fighter 6. So
Mhm.
like I think that we should
Yeah, we
I
might
think that
have.
we might have to.
I would say this year is better than that year so far, even though we love Final Fantasy and all that. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be an interesting year.
It
That
is.
it will be. Anything else before we get into movies?
I don't think so.
No, no.
Okay, movies this week are for me K-pop Demon Hunters and
Hey.
Becoming Led Zeppelin.
Okay. I knocked out Thunderbolts, Ballerina, the John Wick movie, and Bring Her Back.
Ooh, Craig, I have thoughts.
Mhm.
Bring her back for me. We did watch Clown in the Cornfield. Not a long review. I'll just build off of what you said there
Mhm.
the last time. Grafted. Oh, and that's it. That's it.
Sick.
Wow, holy movies, guys! We got
Yeah, we were blowing through movies apparently.
yeah. So I'll go first with K-pop Demon Hunters, as it is probably one of the older ones.
Best movie of
Watched
the
it
year.
on Craig's recommendation. Yes, I do agree. Songs are catchy. The animation is fantastic. Um, it's just so much fun. It doesn't
Yep.
take itself seriously, and the songs are just they are catchy. They're in my Spotify playlist.
Mhm.
So, K-pop Demon Hunters is awesome. If you haven't watched it, watch it. Becoming Led Zeppelin is the other one I did want to mention. I'm a big Led Zeppelin fan. I've definitely wanted to hear more about like how their band started. I have to say, like, getting to see some of the exclusive stuff that this unearthed with like interviews with their long past, long deceased drummer John Bonham, was cool. Just because you get more of an insight as to him, because his life was unfortunately shorter than most of the bandmates. But Jimmy Page, Robert Plant, John Bon Jones, they're all interesting people, and like how they were raised and their version of rock and roll, which was heavily influenced by so many people like Little Richie and um, like even mentioned the Beatles and things like that. So if you like Led Zeppelin, I definitely think it is a movie to watch. It's barely over 2 hours. Don't even count the credits, and it's under 2 hours. But I think you have to like Led Zeppelin in order to get into this. If you're not a Led Zeppelin guy, I don't think you'd probably get into it, to be honest.
I'm
So
not a diehard Led Zeppelin fan, but I'm a huge fan of music, so I've obviously like heard their music and played it myself. So like that's interesting, Barry. I'm glad you enjoyed that.
Jimmy Page is one of like the greatest guitarists in the world in my head, and
Yeah,
for rock and roll. So getting to hear him talk more about how he was inseparable with his guitar and how he
right,
played it for like hours on end. As long as he finished his schoolwork, he was allowed to play, and it just
right.
makes me appreciate him more as to why I regard him as one of the greatest guitarists in rock and roll. So yeah, again, it's interesting, but if you're not a fan, like if you're listening to Moonbeam Ice Cream, Benson Boone, this isn't gonna interest you.
That was a
Fair.
very specific
Was
It's
you
all it's on the
you have some
radio.
hate on that, don't you?
It's all it's on
sounds
the
like it.
radio.
Yeah.
It's I hear it too many times a day.
Craig, you want to give me yours, and then we'll meet on Bring Her Back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll start with the oldest one, Grafted. Grafted technically was out in New Zealand in 2024, but Shudder acquired the rights to, and it began streaming in 2025, which is why I mentioned it. Grafted is a poor man's Substance.
Okay.
It is about a girl named Wei. Her father is like a biological or a medical researcher in China, and when she's a kid, she has like she was born with like a terrible, like horrible scar, and her dad was doing research on essentially trying to heal skin and kind of like revitalize skin or make it just essentially mainstayed by his daughter's affliction, like trying to fix that. Something goes terribly wrong when she's young, and he's researching, and he essentially dies. I won't explain how he dies, but it's whew, imagination, please. Um, but she comes to America, or sorry, to New Zealand, and she goes through the classic teenager thing where she's bullied by certain kids. She's staying with her family, who she has an kind of a, a an annoying stepsister or whatever, and or sister, cousin, whatever you want to call it. Long story short, she takes her father's research and she tries to carry it on by staying after school with one of her teachers, and you can kind of imagine how that snowballs. And it's pretty gruesome at specific parts. The only movie that I can think to compare it to is Substance because of the body horror in this movie, but the concept is interesting enough, and my wife and I enjoyed it. So that's Grafted, and then Clown in a Cornfield. Craig is right; it's great. I wasn't surprised. I thought that there was a very interesting twist in this movie. My wife said the book was also pretty amazing. She killed it before we watched it.
Okay.
So she blew through that book. There's a couple of differences from the book that she didn't like, as is normal with book to film. But it's a good slasher with some great humor moments, and I think it's going to be better than. I mean, unless the trailer is incorrect, the I Know What You Did Last Summer that's coming out looks like it's not going to be that good. I don't know. It could be, but it may be the best slasher. I don't know. Hard Eyes was pretty good though.
Yeah.
So, but Greg, good call on it. It is fantastic. It was a great movie to watch.
Oh yeah, Bring Her Back, right? Okay.
Oh,
So inevitably we have to compare Bring Her Back to Talk to Me. Same people making that. I personally believe that these both take place in the same universe. I don't care if that's fact or not. That's just what I'm going to believe. I think that Talk to Me is the better movie of the two, personally, but Bring Her Back is doing some really good things. I would like to watch it again because I feel like watching it again with the understanding that you don't get until the end of the movie as far as what is actually going on. Going back and watching it again and knowing, I think would make it even better. But there's some moments where I was like, this is almost too much for me to see, specifically with the little kid.
oh my God, yeah.
I thoroughly enjoy this style of horror that these guys are coming up with, though.
Yeah,
'Cause
these
it
guys know
is,
what they're doing.
yeah, and I'm trying not to like spoil things because the whole point of this movie is honestly just figuring out what is going on.
Yes,
Like, what are we doing here? Why is this kid? What is going on with this kid? Why does this lady have this kid? I'm trying to be as vague as possible for everybody. I don't know. Just go watch it. Is that the best way to put it?
that's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Go watch it. So this is going to be one of in my top 5
Yeah.
somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
My wife and I liked it better than Talk to Me.
Okay.
We're in the same boat as you, Craig, where we like what these guys are doing.
Yeah.
And they're young guys too,
Yep.
and there's a specific style that they do and a cinematography that they do that really lands. And what I liked is we did watch the trailer. The trailer did not show us what we thought like the idea that we had going into the movie is not how the movie was playing out.
Yes.
So whatever the marketing they did, I think was good because they did show some parts, but I still was completely blind until the end.
Yep.
And that's what I want. And yeah, you spend a good portion of the movie trying to figure out what the frick is going on in general. And there are the kid scenes
Yeah.
are pretty wild. I like the concept. I think that the concept took a bunch of different ones and kind of mashed it together. They had their own little twists going on as well. And who's the lady in that? Sally Hawkins,
Yeah.
destroyed it. She was amazing. Sally Hawkins was amazing, and to be honest, all of the kid actors were amazing too because they had to play some really tough parts.
Mm-hmm.
So this is somewhere in my top 5, somewhere.
Okay.
And for people like Barry, for example, there are not any jump scares, like really kind of at all for the most part. It's just kind of tough things to watch. So
That's some of the toughest things I've watched in a while, though.
yeah,
To be fair,
yeah,
it's not a movie that's like, yeah, you're gonna jump out of your seat scared, but it's like, ew.
it's you.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yep.
Yeah, when you have like the in-laws in, don't
Yeah, no,
recommend
no,
this
no.
movie. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
True.
but it was worth it. I
Yeah.
think we're gonna find some type of steelbook version, own it physically. Like we were thoroughly impressed with this one.
Yeah,
So
they're on a roll. They have the keys to do pretty much whatever they want at this point. But yeah, Thunderbolts, or I guess this is. I won't say what the other name is. There is another name for this movie now. If you choose to look that up, it kind of spoils the ending a little bit. Little late to the party on Thunderbolts, but gives me hope in Marvel again because that movie is phenomenal, absolutely incredible. That cast works together; they all play off each other extremely well. The comedy is incredibly well done. The action is good. The story is phenomenal, setting up where we're going as far as if you still care about the Marvel story or not. I know a lot of people don't. I am still invested. This is honestly, it's in my top 10 somewhere this year. I don't think it's going to get knocked out. Um, it is just an incredibly fun ride from beginning to end. Um, and again, don't look up what they're calling this movie now if you don't want the ending spoiled. They kind of are just throwing it out there now because it's been out for so long. But if you care about Marvel, then you need to make sure you don't skip that one. And then Ballerina, which is in the John Wick universe, that's another movie that's going to be probably in my top 10 at the end of the year.
okay,
Um, super nice contrast. Like there's a scene early on that kind of joins the John Wick movies to this movie. They specifically use a scene from John Wick and kind of splice it into this movie so you know where it's taking place in the timeline. But it does such a nice job of like, we all love John Wick. We love the choreographed fight scenes. They twist it a little bit, whereas it's very early on they make it known and they tell the character in the movie, you are a female, you are going to be smaller than literally everybody you fight, so you have to fight dirty. So whereas John Wick is very precise, she is not. Everything is just like out of control. She gets hit a lot. It's just a different vibe for a John Wick style movie, but it works. The story is entertaining. I would honestly take 3 more movies of her, honestly. And
awesome.
and the 20 minutes or so that Keanu Reeves is in it are phenomenal. He does another great job as well. Um, I know the TV show, The Continental, was absolute garbage. You don't need to watch that at all. But the movies continue to hit for me. I honestly wish I would have saw it in theaters though, because those movies are just so good in theaters. But yeah, if you haven't watched it, which is probably most people, do yourself a favor and watch that as well. All of us should be watching that because we were so high on John Wick.
You know, nothing will ever take
When we all held up.
Yeah, when we all held up.
It's a classic. It's an all-time clip for us when we all held up John Wick at the same time as our number one.
That was awesome.
It will be remembered in history, everybody.
We try.
Yep.
Well, I want to thank everybody for listening to this week's podcast. If you feel so inclined, please make sure you leave us a star review, or a thumbs up on your listening platform of choice. Write a review. Let us know what you liked. Let us know what you didn't like. We'd appreciate it. If you are watching on YouTube, please make sure to like and subscribe. Let us know what you think about the games coming out, the Microsoft layoffs, what you think about this year in gaming general, and let us know what you think of Death Stranding 2, whether or not my comparison to Kingdom Hearts 2 maybe is a little unwarranted, but we'll see. We appreciate everyone supporting us every week as we continue to kind of just upload when we can. So appreciate your guys' patience with that. And we will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye, guys.
See you.